I looked out the airplane window and slowly started to see land. I saw big bodies of water and trees and paved roads. After 14 long hours, we were finally here. My two brothers, Mom and Dad, and I all took a vacation to Australia. It was the middle of October of my 7th grade year. I had been to Australia once before with my dad when I was about 9, but this time we were going for a lot longer and I was a lot older. After the plane landed, I was quick to grab my things and get off. I was so excited to be here. We got all of our luggage and got into a taxi to our hotel. The taxi ride was really long, but so incredible. I was looking out the window, watching the green trees roll by and the fruit bats fly ahead. I thought about all the things I wanted to do on this trip. I had a lot. I wanted to tan and swim and hike and see new animals and try different foods, meet new people. I had been longing for a vacation, somewhere where all my worries could wash away, and I could already tell that this was going to be it. After about an hour in the taxi, we finally got to the hotel. The hotel was very big and really nice. After getting our room key, we took an elevator up to our hotel room. My mom opened the door and I looked around me. The hotel room was awesome. It was clean, pretty, had a big TV, a nice kitchen, big couches, and our bedroom. There was also a spectacular view of the buildings in Sydney. I slowly paced across the carpet and eventually made my way to the bedrooms. They were good size with perfectly neat bedding. I loved the way they looked and the fact that they both had a big TV. The next day, we toured Sydney. We set off on a big boat and saw lots of different landmarks. The best landmark that we saw was the Sydney Opera House. The first time I went to Australia, I saw it, but I never remembered it to be this great. 2 days after being in Sydney, we switched locations. We took a plane to a more northern part of Australia called Cairns, which was closer to the equator. It was a lot more tropical. Instead of staying in a hotel, we stayed in a small house. We got to the house and I was really blown away. It was like a wooden hut. It was circular and it was so cool. I got out of the car and took lots of pictures and went to explore. The backyard was like a rainforest. It had creeks and small waterfalls and lots of plants and trees and animals. The whole trip was amazing. I had fun each and every day. 2 things in particular were the most fun and exciting. The first was that I snorkeled on the Great Barrier Reef. That was the most fantastic thing I've ever done in my whole life. We took a boat way far out into the ocean where the reefs were. We got instructions on how to snorkel and be safe. I had snorkeled many times before, but it was still scary because there are a lot of sharks near there. I dove into the crystal clear blue water, put my mask on, followed by my snorkel, and started swimming. Once I put my mask on, it was like I entered a different world. It was a world of beauty, peace, and happiness. My eyes were dazzled by different colored fish in the warm, clear water. Next, I was so amazed by the beauty that I saw in front of me. Fish would come within centimeters of my mask. It was a life-changing experience for me. I did not see a shark, thank God, but I very well could have. Next, we headed up to the southern tip of Australia to the Great Ocean Road. On the very last day, we all hiked up into the eucalyptus trees to look for koala bears. I had held a koala bear the last time I was in Australia, but this was totally different. We weren't in a zoo, we were in the wild. We saw probably 20 or 30 koalas. Some were high up in the trees, some were pretty close to the ground, but one in particular was so close to us. We found him after looking for koalas for about an hour. We were in reach of him, and he was practically level with us. He was really cute. I looked into his deep eyes and felt something weird. I felt bad for him. I knew that people were running in his home and building houses and bringing more cars into civilization into his environment. I wanted to hold him, but I didn't want to bother him anymore. We took lots of pictures with him and then let him be. This trip was the experience of a lifetime, and I'm so glad I got to go. I did things, saw things, and felt things I had never experienced before. I had always dreamed of snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef, and I did it. All the different things I tried and did on the trip will always stay with me. This trip was a lot more memorable than the first time I went because I did more exciting things and I was older. I love telling people about my trip because it was a great experience that most people have not had the good fortune to experience. I haven't traveled that much, but when I do, I enjoy it and I keep the memories with me forever.